Last summer, me and my brother Trent decided to drive cross-country instead of flying. Seemed like a good idea at the time. We wanted to see some real America, you know? Not just airports and tourist spots. We were cutting through Tennessee when things got weird. It was getting dark, and our GPS started acting up in those mountains. Signal just went dead. No biggie, we thought. There were road signs for a shortcut, so we followed them. The road kept getting narrower, though. Like way narrower than a normal highway should be. Trees closing in on both sides. Trent kept saying it would open up again soon, but it didn't. After maybe 20 minutes of this, we came across this little, I don't know what to call it. Not even a town, just some trailers and beat-up houses scattered around. I remember thinking it was weird that none of the houses had any lights on, even though it was getting pretty dark out. Trent slowed down, trying to figure out where we were. That's when I noticed them. These guys just standing on their porches, watching us. Not moving or talking, just staring. I had this candy bar I was eating, but suddenly my mouth got too dry to swallow. "Dude, don't stop here," I told Trent. But we were already almost at a standstill. We reached what looked like the end of the road, and Trent was about to turn around when headlights flashed behind us. This pickup truck had pulled up, blocking the way we came. The driver started flashing his high beams over and over. Trent tried to find another way out, but then another truck showed up in front of us. We were boxed in. My window was cracked open a bit, and I could hear these guys talking. One of them mentioned our license plate being from out of state. Then, I swear, this is exactly what he said, one of them went, "We'll take care of them like the others." I still get goosebumps thinking about how he said it. So casual, like talking about taking out the trash. Trent's not usually the brave type, but man, he went into survival mode. He threw our car into reverse and backed right into a ditch. Somehow he managed to squeeze past the truck behind us. Our car made this awful scraping noise against their truck, and I was sure they were going to shoot at us or something. As we peeled out of there, I looked back and saw 3 more vehicles starting to follow us. Their headlights bounced through the trees as we sped down those winding roads. Trent drove like a maniac. I was holding onto the dashboard so tight my knuckles went white. We must have gone 15 miles before we hit a highway. The gas light came on right as we spotted a police station. When we told the officer what happened, he got real serious. Said we'd stumbled into an area known for a local family that doesn't like outsiders. Apparently, there had been reports of travelers disappearing in that region. Then he checked our car and found something that made my stomach drop. A small magnetic tracker stuck under the rear bumper. Sometimes I still wake up thinking about those men standing perfectly still on their porches, and I wonder how many others weren't as lucky as us. I've never told this story to anyone else. Most nights, I try to convince myself it wasn't as bad as I remember. But then, I'll see a pickup truck with Tennessee plates, and it all comes rushing back. I'm Kristen, and I work as a sales representative for this medical equipment company. My job has me driving all over the place for meetings. This one time I was crossing through Nevada. Super boring drive, nothing but desert and those weird little towns that pop up out of nowhere. I'd been on the road for like 12 hours straight. My eyes were getting heavy, and I was starting to drift between lanes. Not safe at all. So when I saw this motel sign glowing in the distance, the Sandpiper Inn, I decided to stop for the night. The place looked okay from outside. Not fancy or anything, but the parking lot was clean, and the sign said "Vacancy" in red neon. I grabbed my overnight bag and headed to the front desk. This old lady was working there, had to be at least 70. She smiled at me the whole time, but something about it felt wrong, like her eyes weren't matching her mouth. She kept staring at me while typing super slow on this ancient computer. "Traveling alone, dear?" she asked, her voice all sweet but her eyes not blinking enough. I nodded, and she asked for my driver's license. Normal enough, right? But then she took it to this back room and was gone for like 5 minutes. When she came back, she said she needed to photocopy it for their records. I almost said no, but I was so tired, I just wanted to get to a bed. The room was basic. Scratchy bedspread, TV that probably still had VHS. I remember thinking the air conditioner smelled like old pennies. I double-checked the locks before crashing out. I woke up around 2 a.m. to this soft clicking sound. It took me a second to realize someone was trying the doorknob. Thank God I'd used that little security chain thing. The door opened as far as the chain allowed, maybe 3 inches. I could see a man's shadow in the gap. Not the old lady, definitely a man. Tall. "Hello?" I called out, my voice shaking. "I'm in here, the room's occupied." The door closed immediately. I heard footsteps moving away fast. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. I turned on every light in the room and sat against the headboard, watching the door. That's when I noticed something about the big mirror on the wall opposite the bed. The frame didn't sit flush against the wall. There was a tiny gap along one edge. I got up and checked it out. Running my fingers along the edge, it was a 2-way mirror. I could feel a small space behind it. I threw my stuff into my bag so fast, didn't even brush my teeth. Just got out of there practically running to the front desk. There was a different person now, a guy maybe in his 40s who looked half asleep. "I need to check out now," I told him. "Problem with the room?" he asked, not seeming surprised at all. "Someone tried to get in, and there's a 2-way mirror. I want my money back." He sighed, like this happened all the time, and processed my refund without arguing. As I was leaving, I glanced through the open door to their back office. There was a corkboard on the wall with papers pinned to it. I could see my driver's license photocopy up there, along with maybe 10 others. Next to mine was a yellow, sticky note with my room number and "traveling alone" underlined twice. I drove 3 hours straight despite being exhausted, just to get far away. 3 days later, I was scrolling through news on my phone when I saw it. Nevada Highway Motel under investigation after traveler disappearance. It was the Sandpiper. Police found hidden passages behind the walls and recording equipment in the rooms. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't used that security chain. Or if I hadn't noticed the mirror. I still take business trips, but I don't stay in motels anymore, and I never, ever travel alone. Last autumn, I found myself on a desolate stretch of Montana interstate around 1 a.m. The darkness seemed to swallow everything beyond my headlights as I made my way to visit my cousin Mackenzie in Billings. My radio kept fading in and out, leaving me alone with the hum of tires against asphalt and my wandering thoughts. The sudden appearance of flashing lights in my rearview mirror startled me. I wasn't speeding, but I pulled over regardless, fingers drumming nervously against the steering wheel. The lingering scent of fast food hung in the air as I waited. When the officer approached, his flashlight beam remained fixed on my face, preventing me from seeing him clearly. Just the silhouette of a uniform against the night. Something about his movements felt mechanical, rehearsed. "License and registration," he demanded, his voice unnaturally flat. His questions started routine enough but gradually shifted toward the personal. "You staying alone tonight? Nobody expecting you at any specific time, right?" Each inquiry made the hairs on my neck rise incrementally. "Step out of the vehicle for a sobriety test," he ordered, despite no mention of erratic driving or alcohol. My father's warnings about traffic stop safety suddenly surfaced in my mind. "Officer, could I please see your badge number under better light? And I'd like to request a supervisor present." The transformation was immediate. His composed demeanor shattered as he began shouting, violently yanking at my locked door handle. Pure instinct took over. I threw the car into drive while fumbling for my phone to call 911. The dispatcher's response froze my blood. "Ma'am, we have no officers conducting stops in that area tonight." At the police station 20 miles ahead, Sergeant Wilkins showed me dashcam footage capturing the same imposter who had stopped me. Later, investigation of his fake patrol vehicle revealed restraints, sedatives, and driver's licenses of women from multiple states. They never caught him. I no longer drive alone after dark, and I always verify legitimate stops through 911. But what haunts me most are thoughts of others who might have pulled over before me, those who weren't as fortunate to escape.